LATD Nation, welcome back to another video, man. This is your boy, Jay. I got my co-host as always.
Rodney, a.k.a. RG from the 843. What's good, y'all? It's been a little bit, but we are back, you know.
Yes, sir. We've been
prepared. Right back to it.
Yes, sir. Preparing for bigger and brighter things in the future.
For sure.
Y'all see. Ting. Anyway, what we going to be talking about today, bro?
All right, so today we're going to be talking about one of our favorite things, one of our favorite mediums of entertainment, anime.
Yes, sir.
You know, Japanese animation, you know. And I would say, for me personally, anime, you know, is one of my favorite things, period. It's one of the things that really inspires me the most, one of the things that I've had the most enjoyment in watching and, you know, reading or understanding, whatever the case may be.
Right.
So, yeah, I would say that, you know, growing up, I was more into, say, movies and TV and games. Anime came a little bit later. Well, first of all, let me say I was a huge Dragon Ball is some of my favorite anime to this day.
Yes, sir.
I became a Dragon Ball fan all the way back in, I think it was either 2009 or 2010 when Nicktoons Network, this is how long ago this was.
Around that time, yeah.
Yeah, when Nicktoons Network, they started airing a version of Dragon Ball Z called Dragon Ball Z Kai. Now, I had known about Dragon Ball way back in the day because it was on Toonami.
Right.
Granted, I never watched Toonami like that, so I never really got onto the initial wave of anime when it was first big in the 2000s, you know, with Bleach and Naruto and things of that nature. So I watched an episode of Dragon Ball Z Kai because I had remembered Dragon Ball Z, and I was kind of curious. I was like, okay, you know, because I had never watched it. I'm like, let me go ahead and, you know, give it a watch. I seen a promo for it. It says on Thursday or Friday at 9 or something like that.
Yep.
And I remember I tuned in. It was around the Saiyan Saga, I believe, when it was first airing, and from that moment on, I was hooked. From that moment on, Dragon Ball was my everything. You know, every single chance I could watch it, even if it was an episode I'd already seen, I'm sitting there watching it faithfully. You know, learning all the characters' names, all the techniques, just everything there was to know about Dragon Ball. You know, I really became a super fan of that. You know, Vegeta to this day is some of my favorite character of all time. You know, so of course. I would say Goku being my second. Of course, he's my second favorite Dragon Ball character. Piccolo's my third favorite. And so that's kind of like where it kind of ended for me. Like it kind of started and ended with Dragon Ball for a long time. Like from 2010 to I would say 2013, I was pretty much Dragon Ball over everything. I got all the Dragon Ball games. I wore the shirts. I was just the biggest Dragon Ball fan you could ever meet, and to this day I'm still like that. You know, it's funny because I was at work the other day, me and one of my friends, we were doing a Dragon Ball quiz, scored 37 out of 50, ain't watched Dragon Ball who knows how long. You know, that's just off the dome, so you know, not to brag too much, but back to what I was saying though, I say overall it really started and ended with Dragon Ball for me as far as anime was concerned for a long time. From 2010 to 2013, it was Dragon Ball over everything. But then after I finished middle school, this was in the summer of 2013.
Right.
It was I was in Books A Million. I remember this is maybe a few weeks after, and I had saw a volume of One Piece. And I'm like, oh, One Piece. Yeah, I remember that. Because it aired, I think it aired on Cartoon Network or something. No, it aired on 4Kids.
Yeah, it was.
Back in the day,
it was 4Kids.
It was 4Kids first.
Yeah, it was 4Kids.
So I remember One Piece vividly from my childhood. You know, even earlier years than that. I vividly remember One Piece on 4Kids or whatever, and I remember really liking it as a kid. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get back into this. Before you knew it, in one summer I went from episode 1. And this is when I was 14, so you know, no judgment here. This is when I didn't have anything going on socially. I went from episode 1 to episode 600 something in the summer.
Oh.
This was June when I started. By August, when school rolled around, when high school rolled around, when I met you, I had already caught up 600. I watched 10
So
episodes
that was-
a day
so
faithfully.
So that was like the Dressrosa arc, innit?
Yeah, this was it was Punk Hazard getting ready
Punk
to go
Hazard, yeah,
into
yeah,
Dressrosa at the time.
Yeah, because I remember that too. Like, I remember that whole arc and everything about Doflamingo, and all his
And Caesar and all them.
Caesar Clown, all what's the guy's name who always wore the Jaguar stuff, who always had food stuck to his face? Vega, something like that. No, not Vegapunk. That's not right.
Nah, definitely not.
What's his name? Well, either way, I remember Pika. I remember like his fight with Zoro and everything.
This was when Law and Luffy formed the Great Pirate Alliance.
Right, and then Law, he, what was his name? Like Law's backstory is tough, by the way.
Well, for sure.
Like I remember Corazon. I remember One Piece is definitely up there for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm good to get in my story of anime, or you want to keep going?
I just want to continue.
Go ahead.
Briefly touching on, but yeah, once I started watching One Piece and I caught up to One Piece, I was like, man, I need something else to watch.
Right.
So it was funny because at the time I was hearing about this thing called the Big Three anime. It was One Piece, which I of course had already watched and became a massive fan of.
Right.
I have like 80 volumes of the manga like right now. I need to get back into collecting it, but it was One Piece that I was already a big fan of, and then after that, I was hearing about the Big Three being Naruto and Bleach. Now, of course, everybody as a kid knew what Naruto was, but I never watched Naruto when it was on Toonami. I never watched it on Cartoon Network. So I got into Naruto in 2013, became obsessed with that. And still a huge fan of that today. Bleach, same thing, one of my favorites to this day.
Right.
I'm glad that they brought it back for the 1,000-Year Blood War because it deserved it. Because by the time I was getting into Bleach, the anime had ended already.
Right, I'm watching Bleach now.
Yeah.
I'm like in the very early arc when they just get to the
Soul
afterlife.
Society.
Soul, thank you.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Soul Society. So
hey, that's one of the greatest arcs of all time. So enjoy it. I wish I could re-experience that for the first time.
yeah,
But yeah, I would say from that point it was up. And then this was around the time Attack on Titan was
Right.
really getting big in 2013. So I had that to watch, and then after that it was Hunter x Hunter, Tokyo Ghoul, Parasite. I basically became like for 3-4 years I was obsessed with anime. That was my whole thing. You know, this pop vinyl right here, this Luffy, I've had this for, I think I've had that for about at least 6 or 7 years, if not longer.
right.
So needless to say, and Yu Yu Hakusho, my third favorite. I'm wearing the shirt right now. Very underrated nowadays. It doesn't get the love it deserves.
It's very underrated. I'm trying to watch that too.
It doesn't get the love that it deserves from this generation of anime fans. So I had to rep it today.
Right.
But yeah, overall, just to conclude on, my sort of backstory with it, always been a huge fan of it. Always thought that it was a medium that I just feel like the way that anime tells its story, it can't be done in any other way, shape, or form. And I think that's one of the reasons why anime oftentimes fails when it's
Right.
live action. Because there's just something about the animation and just the emotion and the heart that is imbued in those characters that kind of gets lost when it becomes something else.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But yeah, that's all I pretty much have to say.
So this is how my anime journey started. So back when I was a kid growing up, for some reason, my mom, she didn't let me watch anything with dragons in it, right? So I couldn't watch Dragon Ball Z. I couldn't watch Digimon. I couldn't watch Pokemon. All the stuff I wanted to watch, I couldn't because my mom, she's big Christian and everything. She thought the dragons were the devil, yada yada yada. Like I'm a Christian too. God bless. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
It's like it was just kind of disheartening hearing that because back when I was a kid, I couldn't watch Yu-Gi-Oh because of all the dragons I was in Yu-Gi-Oh.
I was actually big into Yu-Gi-Oh before Dragon Ball and all of
Right.
that. 5Ds, that was my show right there. You say?
Yeah, so was I until my mom saw it. Like, you're not watching that. I had like a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon toy when I was younger. And I didn't know what it was because I couldn't watch the show anyway. But it's like so until one day I'm just scrolling through TV. And I'm thinking like all the anime came on Adult Swim, so I'm thinking like if I see it, I can't watch Adult Swim, but I see like Cartoon Network West, like what is 3 hours back, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see the show called Naruto come on. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
this is pretty dope. I'm in the middle of the Naruto versus Sasuke.
Oh, so this was like towards the end.
No,
the end.
no, this is part one. Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying. So,
yeah. I'm about to say,
when they fought in the valley at the end.
Yeah. So and I'm seeing Sasuke like, you know, jump on these rocks, getting away from Naruto and this, that, and the third. And I'm seeing Naruto transform into not a giant fox, but into his version 1 cloak. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh snap! This is legit.
And then Sasuke had the curse seal awakened for him.
Yep, and then it had the wings on the back. I'm like,
exactly.
And then I looked around.
I can see it right now.
Yeah, and we was in a hotel. I had looked around, made sure my mom was asleep.
As you would.
Yeah, because I'm like, if she ain't like dragons, she ain't gonna like this.
She ain't gonna mess with this.
But it's like one dragon, so ting. So you know, and I remember watching that and enjoying that, and then I started looking it up some more.
Yeah.
But I didn't know I didn't know it was anime at the time, and they kept calling out their techniques and jutsus and everything like that.
Because at the time, I didn't know Bakugan,
right.
Yu-Gi-Oh, and all that. Pokemon was technically anime. Right. I just thought that those were cartoons. Right. But One Piece, Dragon Ball I knew was anime, but One Piece was like the first one where it's like I acknowledged it was the first stepping stone for me becoming like an anime fan, like actually ingratiated in the anime community.
Right.
Not to cut you off.
No, you good. And then further down the years, I never really watched it again, but I figured out what it was. Because, I'm trying to deal with school and everything.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really on my mind. I was focused on sports. But as the years went on, I'm starting to think what is that stuff called? Where it's like yada, yada, yada. And they call out their names and everything. And then I started watching Beyblade.
Yeah.
The show based for the toys and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then
they made it in the commercial, they made it look like they were spinning and everything.
Right.
When you would actually rip them, they just...
Yeah, I was like, and I'm telling you, I'm like 12 or 13 looking at this. I'm thinking, this is dope as heck.
Yes.
So I'm like, Mom, we gotta run to the store real quick. Can we go get some Beyblades? She's like, all right, cool. And we would play that all the time. I would start saying, making up random super moves kill this guy, so and so.
Who did it?
Yeah, so it's like, it was like the most fun, and the show was good and entertaining. Maybe not now, but it was good and entertaining. But back in the day, Beyblade was Naruto was what really set the tone for me, but Beyblade is what made me fall in love with anime.
Which is unique because you don't really hear a lot of people say that when it comes to what made you an anime fan, Beyblade, Bakugan.
Bakugan is another one.
I wasn't even the biggest Bakugan fan, but I had because how they transformed it, you would roll them onto the card and they would transform. Right. I had the one where it's they all combined together.
Exactly.
I can't remember what it's called, but I had it.
When they had Drago and the other ones, and I forgot
because it was the legs and there was the arms and then the body and the head. I cannot remember for the life of me what this thing was called.
But it wasn't. It was in Gundalian Invaders.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that to this day. All the shows that had toys about them and games. That's the anime I would watch as a kid.
Yeah, same.
And that's what my mom liked because that's what my mom let me watch when I was younger, even though they had dragons in it too. But we ain't gonna get into that.
Yeah.
So it's the games like Bakugan, Beyblade, this show called Monsuno. I don't know if people remember that. That came on Nicktoons for a while too.
I think that show remember that.
That show was lit. And I loved those shows as a kid. But then I started thinking what are these other shows about? And then I started re-watching Naruto again, and now I see why I fell in love with all the Naruto. And they came out with Shippuden and everything.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at the screen in awe. I'm 14, 15 at this time. I'm just I love this, and I'm just watching it religiously every single day. And then I'm like, wait, there's more. There's Bleach. There's Dragon. Then I rewatched Dragon Ball because Mom, I'm too old now. You can't tell me I can't watch this.
Exactly.
Then I started watching Digimon again, and then I started watching Yu-Gi-Oh. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh. Then I started all the anime that you would think of shonen wise, I watched.
For sure.
But all the other isekais and stuff like that, like Sailor Moon, I'm not watching that crap. God bless anime community. We part of y'all, so don't get mad at me when I say Sailor Moon is crap.
But Sailor Moon did have its impact, and it kind of did have its place. Because Sailor Moon was kind of that generation, in the 90s with Dragon Ball and Hakusho.
Right.
And the funny thing is that Sailor Moon, the mangaka, that she's married to the author of Hakusho.
Oh, shout out to them. Sailor Moon isn't crap. I'm just saying them anyway.
No,
but it's like those are the anime that I grew up watching on TV. And once started finding out about watch cartoons online.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, same.
And then I just started watching
bootleg sites.
Yep, and I started binge watching the anime from back to. I started binge watching Naruto from back to back to back. Because
it was a site. Because there was like a general formula that I used to watch. It was back in the day. These bootleg sites for specific anime. It was One Piece get. It was Naruto get. It was Bleach get.
Yep.
And that's exactly how I watched all of them shows. This was before I really. I know I got a Crunchyroll account sometime later on. But before.
I got one now.
Oh, I got one right now.
And I'm going to tell y'all real quick. One of my favorite anime right now is My Hero Academia.
I never watched it.
My brother.
I've heard so much about it. I just never.
It's all good.
Because personally, and this is where I mean, because for me personally, I've kind of had like a renaissance of like my anime fandom because I fell off of really paying attention to anime like that after really about 2017, 18 ish. Right. And you know, I've just kind of like recently, because what really kind of got me back into it was really like getting back into Attack on Titan, because the second season came out in 2017 and I didn't finish it because by that point, you know, it had taken so long. I wasn't really focused on anime like that anymore. But then, you know, when COVID happened and everything, I was like, and I heard that Attack on Titan was in its final season. I was like, man, you know, whatever happened with that thing? So I got back into it, you know. I was watching it day and night in my dorm over at, you know, at Coastal or whatever.
Sean's up.
Yes, sir, for sure. But you know, I got back into that, and I was like, man, I miss anime. And before you know it, you know, Bleach came back. You know, 1,000 Year Blood War, and you know, I really in One Piece I've been getting back into that lately because you know the Wano arc and everything. You know, with Kaido, because Kaido was teased like 10 years ago during Punk Hazard and because the original reason that Luffy and Law teamed up during Punk Hazard was to eventually not just defeat Doflamingo but Kaido too, because Kaido was above.
Right, because wasn't Doflamingo like a what's the word? Warlord of the sea?
Yeah, he was a
what's the Japanese word for it?
Shichibukai.
Shichibukai, yeah. And then Kaido was in Yonko.
Yeah, one of the 4 emperors of the sea.
Yep.
If you watch One Piece, you already know what we're talking about.
Yeah, saying like my favorite Yonko was Whitebeard until the Marineford War.
Of course.
And that broke my heart. I remember going in school. It was with you and our boy Solomon, right?
Yes, sir.
Solomon. I started playing. Yeah, shout out, bro. We started playing. I was playing One Piece Burning Blood, the story mode.
Oh yeah. You know what's crazy about me? You know what's actually crazy? You know why I got into One Piece now I think about it? The real reason why I got into it was because they were coming out with One Piece Pirate Warriors. It was like a Dynasty Warriors version of One Piece. And I remember seeing it. I was like, dang, man, this thing looks lit. I wonder whatever happened with the story. That's what got me back into One Piece. But ironically, I never got a single Pirate Warriors game. They came out with 4 of them.
Bro.
They came out with 4.
Oh, yeah, I got one of them.
They came out with 4 in the span of like 4 or 5 years. I think it was annualized. And then One Piece Burning Blood, the fighting game. Yep. That's the one that has Luffy doing Red Hawk on the cover. Or is it him doing is it that? Or is
it's
it
Red
him?
Hawk. It's Red Hawk.
Okay. I thought maybe there was one with him on the cover. He's in Gear 4th.
Right. And the thing is, that day when I found out that when they killed Ace, I was on the floor almost crying, bro. I was stunned.
Shout out Ace.
And then I go into school. I talked to Rod. I talked to Solomon about like, bro, they killed Ace.
I remember.
None of them were surprised. They're like, yeah, bro, he been dead. This was about 5 years ago. I'm like, how? Like,
I knew Ace was dead from when I first started watching One Piece because it had been spoiled for me. But I know that if I hadn't known, boy, that thing probably would. Yeah. Ace is one of my favorite characters of all time. Ace is my 5th favorite One Piece character. Yeah. And then after that is 4th. Actually, no, I lied. Ace is 4th, La is 5th, Sanji's 3rd, Zoro's 2nd, and Luffy's number 1.
Yeah, but like my all-time favorite anime is Naruto though. It's by far no question.
It's up there for me.
Kakashi is my favorite Naruto character, but my favorite village is the Cloud Village, mainly because they're the only black people in the Naruto verse. But
only black people in all the anime, basically. I'm playing.
Nah, I'm just
we
joking.
got a few. We got Aokiji in One Piece.
Yes, sir. I don't care what nobody say. Aokiji is black. No, he's based off of a Japanese actor, which is true. But it's like, bro, it don't matter. He black. You see the curly hair. You see the curly hair. You see the curls.
I mean, when you put it that way.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear none of y'all in the comments talking about I'm nappy neither. But, shoot,
you know what's coming too.
But you see the curly hair. Shoot, man, the Aokiji's black.
For sure.
I don't give a rest.
I always like perceived him as being black.
Yeah, he's black. But the Cloud Ninja has some of the coolest characters.
Darui is still one of my favorite Naruto characters.
Thank you.
Them episodes where they will focus only on Darui and Darui. I'm like, low-key, I wouldn't mind a whole anime of Darui. B, of course, you gotta have him rap because a black guy gotta rap. Of course.
But at the same time, the creator, not Kishimoto. Thank you. I keep getting them mixed up. You know, Kishimoto. He Killer Bee is actually a reference to Wu-Tang Clan. The rapping Killer Bees. That's why he raps and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, I gotta give Kishimoto his credit. If I could adapt Kishimoto up.
Right, and then
I don't even listen to Wu-Tang like that.
Well, I do. Well, more or less. I listen to 36 Chambers.
Who hasn't?
But it's like those were my favorite ones because it's like they were just as cool as the Leaf were.
Facts.
In my honest opinion.
No, they definitely, like, when Darui was putting in work when the Ninja War had first started,
right.
Darui was he was on the front line putting in work.
Exactly. And then you had Raikage A fight Sasuke in five Kage Summit, and the Japanese dub of the Liger Bomb had me lit as a kid. I'm like, this dude is crazy. And then you saw the third Raikage in the fourth Great Ninja War. You talking about he had an impenetrable shield and an unstoppable spear, and it's like, and he's like super fast and everything like that. I'm like, this is dope.
Yeah.
And then not only that, you had Kakashi who had the Sharingan too, and hit the
copycat Kakashi,
the copy ninja. Yep.
Yeah.
And then it's just like all the concepts that they introduced in Naruto were fire. Like these and oh man,
I think because not to cut you off.
Go ahead,
but
bro.
that right there, you lined out basically exactly why I love anime so much, because it's just the worlds that they create and they put you in. And just the stuff that they do, like the attacks and everything, the history, the mythology. I just don't feel like most anime can translate to like a live action, or it's just special in the way that anime is. It's just the way that it tells its story, the way that it puts everything together. I just don't feel like there's any other medium that can do it quite like anime does.
Right, exactly.
If that makes any sense.
And that's why it's so loved as it is today.
Because it's just so unique. The characters are so unique. The themes a lot of the time are so unique. Like growing up watching like Naruto and, you know, One Piece, especially like watching Luffy. You know, Luffy basically saying that if I die trying to achieve my dream, that's fine by me. Just the values that like anime teaches you, like Naruto believing in himself when nobody else would, and eventually proving himself. Just stuff like that, you know, seeing these characters grow over the course of like, whether it's 10 episodes, 100 episodes, 1,000 episodes, just you feel like you go on a journey with these characters.
Exactly. And a lot of the values that they have in the shows, like hard work and achieving your dreams and
like
goals
Lee,
and everything.
Like Lee, that's a perfect example.
Like, I would say this, in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, I believe, when you do when you do his ultimate, his secret factor, it shows he has a quote in there that says, "Believe in yourself and aim ever higher." That almost made me tear up.
And because that's what I'm saying, because those characters, them characters, they stick with you. Like, it's been. And it's funny because, like I said, all of this stuff, like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, I watched all of this stuff the way I did 10 years ago. And I still remember these characters and these stories and these worlds like I just watched it yesterday. Like, I still remember, like, specific scenes and moments. I can still quote, you know, lines of dialogue from a bunch of different characters across every single series, because this stuff just means something to you. Especially because a lot of the time, like, I was watching it at the perfect time too, because most of them characters are around the same age that we were when we was watching it. So it just kind of hit even more different because, you know, they were teenagers kind of going through the same stuff we were going through, you know, being unsure of yourself, you know, the world kind of maybe doubting you, things like that. And, you know, those lessons and them things, they stick with you. They become part of who you are, you know.
Bro, there were so many moments where I felt like I was in an anime too. Like
exactly.
On football practice and basketball games and stuff like that. You just get in that zone and then you feel like you just unstoppable.
Facts. Like Kuroko Basket. Mm-hmm. Or Kuroko's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, just that's the thing about anime that I think a lot of people, especially back then when we were younger, didn't necessarily understand. Because, you know, one thing about anime now versus back then is a lot more mainstream. It's a lot more normalized in pop culture than it was 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Because back in the day, if you said you like anime or whatever, you that weird kid who does the Naruto run and whatever the case may be.
You were a weeb.
They looked at you as like you were weird if you watched anime. But now, with our generation getting older, you know, you see athletes that, you know, grew up on this stuff like us. They're getting, you know, tattoos of Naruto and Sasuke. And they're like quoting, you know, certain lines of dialogue. It's really become a lot. You know, things like Michael B. Jordan, who was a huge Naruto fan.
Shout out Michael B. Jordan.
For sure.
Oh, shout out Jamal Williams.
Yeah, for sure.
The running back for the Saints. So.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan even said on record that Naruto was one of his biggest inspirations when directing Creed 3, and it really shows.
Oh, yeah.
Just like the imagery and stuff that he employs, just the rivalry between Donnie, his character, and man, he's about to be under the jail cell. What's his name?
No, you're not. Jonathan Majors.
He ain't
going to jail for that.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors. Just the rivalry.
But I'm just saying.
The rivalry between his character and Jonathan Majors' character is very reminiscent of Naruto and Sasuke, I feel like. It's just that rivalry sort of like competition. Like, I love you, but you're not about to show me up type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, I just feel like anime has become a lot more mainstream. Like, even like last year.
I'm dealing with that type of rivalry now.
But we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, even with the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, like when we saw that and they had referenced Attack on Titan, I never thought I would ever hear Attack on Titan be talked about in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
They also had a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure hoodie too.
They did, yeah, they did.
And
I used to watch that too.
Yeah, I didn't. I ain't watching JoJo's.
JoJo was weird, but I mean,
Now I'll say this: some anime I don't want to watch because it is mad weird.
Some anime is really like, I know where that stereotype comes from, because the fans can be kind of strange and the anime itself can be really weird. There's some weird stuff when it comes to anime.
But I ain't one of them weird fans. You feel me?
Me neither.
But it's like, well, we ain't one of them weird fans. But nah, but it's just like, man, what else can you say? Yeah. Like what? I'm glad that anime has come as far as it has, man.
It's really progressed because, like I said, back in the day, people would almost try to make you feel ashamed for being an anime fan. Oh, you watch that? You're weird. You're this.
Right. That's for kids. That's for little kids. Well, I mean, I'm 14-bit.
But the thing is, now it's become so mainstream and it's become so like normalized to the point where people don't even bat an eye at you having like, you know, a One Piece or Dragon Ball tattoo. Shit.
Right.
I got Goku and Vegeta tattooed on my left leg. Like this is my thing right here.
Right.
Yeah, and like I feel like 10 years ago, if you had something like that,
you're a weirdo. Shoot.
Now it's like, oh, that's cool. Even if they don't watch anime, they're like, oh, that's cool.
I used to get picked on because I watched anime and because I loved Marvel and stuff too.
And look how the tides have turned.
Exactly. Shoot, man, I love your show, bro. I can't wait till you start talking about anime on here. Well, Shazam, there you go. The same people that made fun of us is the same people that's telling us that they can't wait to see us talk about the same stuff they used to make fun of us about. That's wild. Crazy. But but you know, not to show off or nothing like that.
Of course,
we still growing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'll say this, we appreciate y'all coming in and enjoying the show, man, and tuning in with us.
Very much so. We enjoy y'all, you know, y'all support and things of that nature. But yeah, I say like anime, I feel like I think one of the reasons why it just is so popular and why so many people love it is because people are trying to get past the stereotype and really see the storytelling. When you see a story told as well as Attack on Titan, because I think that's kind of one of the things. Attack on Titan, in my opinion, has been one of the most important factors in making anime mainstream. Because Attack on Titan was so popular and it was so good and it was just so revolutionary that it just brought in a whole new group of people that wouldn't have been otherwise open to watching anime.
Exactly.
It led in turn to watching a My Hero Academia, a One Punch Man, a Tokyo Ghoul,
one thing I'll say.
Hunter.
One thing I'll say about these new anime shows now, like Attack
Demon Slayer,
Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, especially Go-Go Loser Ranger. That's a new episode, anime on Hulu right now, and Attack on Titan, and like a lot of the newer ones, and they treat their audience with respect too. Yeah. That's the biggest thing I noticed, that they treat their audience with a lot of respect, So it's like it's just timeless that everybody can enjoy.
Exactly, because people are starting to realize that it's a legit medium. It's a legitimate art form. Like, anime isn't just like some weird thing. It's an art form. Like, some of the best stories you can ever experience is anime. Exactly. Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, the Chimera Ant art is one of the greatest things that you can experience in terms of storytelling. I don't care what anybody says. Bro. Anybody who has seen Hunter x Hunter knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Same thing with My Hero Academia. Like, one of my favorite characters in that show, and one of the questions that they ask is like, would you want to be a hero for the love and the fame, or do you want to be a hero because it's the right thing to do? And one of my favorite characters, Stain.
Somebody should ask Homelander that.
Right. I'm trying to tell you, but it's like, that's
or A-Train,
all of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest takeaway that I got from that show is like, do you do the right thing because it looks cool, or do you do the right thing because it's the right thing to do? Yes. So it's like, that's why I love that show to this day. Shout out my boy G, man, my little cousin G, my little brother. Sure. He told me the same thing about the show. He's like, bro, you gotta watch this show. I'm like, you know what, I'll give it a try. And I've been hooked ever since. They on season 7 right now. I'm about to watch that when we get off here.
Oh, for sure. I've been getting, and see, like, speaking on me, like, I've been getting back into it a lot. Demon Slayer has really kind of helped bring me back in. I love Demon Slayer.
That's another one.
I'm all in on that.
Whatever. It's cool, but nah, I'm good, bro. I don't got nothing else to say. I'm good. You got anything else?
I mean, in turn, I should just say that, as big as anime has become and as more widely accepted is, you still got them people who are like, nah, no, that's weird, or I don't think I would like that, or
fine.
Oh, I don't think that's cool, or whatever the case may be. Just give it a try, man. You never know, because one thing about anime is it's very diverse. There are different genres within anime. So you got your slice of life, you got your action, you got your comedy, you got all kinds of different anime that I think anybody could watch. Even my sister. My sister loves it's this anime Azumanga Daioh. She was hooked on that thing. It's like a slice of life. Yeah. You ever heard of it? Oh, really?
I'm just joking, but that's cool though.
Yeah. Yeah, Azumanga Daioh. What else is she like? I can't even remember. Fruits Basket.
I'm going to tell you now who likes anime. My uncle, he is my grandfather's brother. He's 75 years old. He's talking about, we riding. I was taking him out to lunch. We riding. Yeah, I wasn't just sitting down watching Inuyasha the other day. I'm like, whoa, what?
You never know who's an anime fan nowadays.
I'm like, you 75. Why is you watching? Wait, what's that other show with the guy who just punches them and they just kind of and they just explode?
One Punch Man?
No, Fist of the North Star.
Really?
I'm like,
you mean Kenshin?
Kenshiro.
Kenshiro.
Yeah, I'm like, you watch Fist of the North Star?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, Uncle Israel, you a goat, man. Like,
for sure, but yeah, like, just give it a try, man. Like I said, there's different types of anime for everyone. It ain't just this weird whatever you think it is. There's something for everybody. There's a story for everybody when it comes to anime. You just got to do your research.
I was just hooked on the fact that this man watched Inuyasha, Fist of the North Star, Ultraman. He watched Avengers Endgame. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm backtracking, but I've been Jay,
and this has been Rodney.
We are LATD, man. Enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. See y'all later. Peace. Yes.